Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now, what a crazy start to the year we've had. 2022 market volatility is at an all-time high, you guys. Whether you're looking at equities, cryptocurrency, it's really presenting a great buying opportunity. I know personally I've been taking advantage of this. I'm not sure if the bottom's in. I know a lot of YouTubers still think there's a lot of downside in the market right now, but personally I've been dollar cost averaging. I think this is a great buying opportunity. And with that being said, I wanted to provide an update video on a couple top crypto mining companies we've actually talked about on the channel previously. So in today's video, we're going to be covering Bitfarms and Digihost. Now, I just put out a video a couple of weeks ago on Hut 8 mining, so I'm going to cover my trade strategy with you guys. I've really been going heavy into long-term or long expiration contract call options on a couple of these companies, and I'm going to explain exactly why that is in today's video. Now, in addition to that, we're going to talk about some recent developments and production updates for the month of January for both of these companies, and really start to compare and contrast some of the top crypto mining plays in my personal opinion. Now, before we get into all that, please take a second, you guys, hit the like button. It's a huge help to both myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And let me know in the comment section below what you think about the recent market pullback, if you're buying any companies out there right now, and how you think these crypto miners stack up compared to one another. Now, I personally go in and respond to each and every comment, so this is a great way to get in contact with me. And if you want me to take a look or cover any small cap companies on the channel, just leave the ticker symbol in the comment section below. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, I'm going to be providing an update on two companies involved in the crypto mining space. We've talked about both of these companies on the channel previously. It's been some time since we actually talked about them, and I figured with the recent pullback in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency across the board, it was a great time to put these companies back on your watch list. And one of these stocks I've actually been buying fairly aggressively over the last couple of weeks. So Bitfarms is the first company here, trades under the ticker symbol BITF on the Toronto Venture Exchange. You can see this is as of close on Thursday, and a pretty rough day for crypto miners across the board. I know pretty much every company I track in this sector was down substantially, in excess of about 5%. So Bitfarms specifically was down just over 6%, or 28 cents Canadian per share, to close out at $4.33. And based on that close, you can actually see the market cap on Bitfarms is now sub $1 billion. Now, Bitfarms is very similar to Hut 8 mining in a lot of ways in terms of their market cap, their mining potential, their hash rate, the number of Bitcoin they're actually mining on a monthly basis right now. The big difference between these two companies is actually Bitfarms has international exposure, and we're going to talk about that on the next slide here, you guys. They actually have exposure in Canada, the United States, and now South America. So it is a little bit of a diversified play if you're looking for a company that's got mining operations in multiple different countries to potentially cut down on government related or regulatory related risk. If one of these countries was, for example, to ban Bitcoin mining activity, which we've seen starting to happen around the world. And we actually talked about that in one of my recent crypto mining videos, so I would encourage you to go take a look there. We are starting to see countries start to regulate mining activity and the use of cryptocurrency within their borders. However, as I explained in that video, I personally see that as a bullish factor for a lot of these miners, because it really does cut down on the amount of competition and other countries that are able to partake in mining activity. Now, with that being said, Bitfarms has been on a major pullback here. You can see if we look at a 6-month chart and we go back to the middle of November, this company was trading just under $11 Canadian and now trading at $4.33. So it's pulled back substantially over the last couple of months. That's what we've seen across the board here, you guys, with any of these crypto mining companies. And that to me has presented a great buying opportunity. So very similar to Hut 8 mining, I've been buying January 2024 call options on Bitfarms with $2.50 and $5 strikes. And for me personally, I think this is a great opportunity to get into some of these high quality miners at extremely discounted prices. And because of that, I actually want additional leverage, and that's why I've decided to buy call options versus traditional shares. Now with that being said, I wanted to provide a production update on Bitfarms. So this came out for the month of January 2022. It came out February 1st, and they talk about their production and mining operations update. So definitely some important news in this article, you guys. The big one here is you can see they've actually commenced operation at their first facility in Paraguay, so South America. It's a 10 megawatt farm, and this actually increases the total number of farms in production for Bitfarms from 6 to 7, and the total megawatt capacity to 116. Now the CEO of Bitfarms goes on to say, bringing our Paraguay farm online marks the start of our commercial operations in South America. So again, that geographic diversification, which I talked about in the intro, the first of our 2 South American development projects. So there's one more that's in the pipeline. Bringing the Paraguay farm online furthers our goals of achieving 3 exahash per second by the end of the first quarter of 2022, so just around the corner here, and 8 exahash per second by the end of 2022. So extremely aggressive growth targets from Bitfarms here, you guys. And this would really put them on the map as one of the biggest players here in North America if they're able to achieve this 8 exahash per second goal by the end of this year. Now, based on this new farm coming online, I'm pleased to report that January 2022 production came in at 301 Bitcoin. That's up 51% from January of last year, so big growth even in the previous fiscal year as well. And Grodzki concludes, the strong year-over-year increase validates our growth model. So in terms of the mining production itself, as of January 23rd, they had 2.3 exahash per second achieved. Again, 301 new Bitcoin, which was up 51% year over year. That equates to about 9.5 Bitcoin mined per day in the month of January, which is the equivalent to about $366,000 US, or $11.6 million for the month of January itself. And that's based on a Bitcoin price of $38,000 US. And as a reminder, Bitcoin was trading just under $70,000 US, again back towards the middle of November. Now, virtually everything they mined in the month of January was deposited into custody with the exception of 2 Bitcoin. So 301 mined, 299 were put into their reserve. And based on that addition to their reserve, they're now sitting on 4,600 Bitcoin in their custody, which is inclusive of 1,000 Bitcoin that Bitfarms actually purchased in the month of January. So that news article came out a little while ago, and they're actually feeling so bullish on Bitcoin moving forward, and they feel like the price is so attractive right now. The company actually went out and purchased 1,000 Bitcoin on the open market. So again, based on a price of about 38,000 US per Bitcoin, this reserve is worth $175 million US, or about $215 million Canadian. And keep in mind, you guys, this market cap is sitting in the $800–900 million Canadian range. So a huge chunk, about 15 to 20% of this company's market cap, is actually sitting in Bitcoin within their reserve. Now on the operational side of things, a couple of big ones I wanted to call out here. So operating capacity up 9% within the month from 106 megawatts to 116 megawatts. Again, initiated production at the Paraguay farm or facility. They have continued progress at both their Bunker and Ledger farms in Sherbrooke, with expected miner deliveries on track for deployment in the first quarter of 2022. So that's again going to help that progression or growth within the company at the Bunker facility. And they've now received and installed approximately 1,840 new miners. However, they are expecting slight delays on their February deliveries based on Chinese New Year. And in terms of the rest of 2022, they ended the month with nearly 47,000 contractually secured mining units with scheduled delivery within 2022. So a ton of new units coming online throughout the year here, you guys. They're expecting deliveries almost each and every month, and that's really going to drive their mining capacity or hash rate, and in turn the number of Bitcoin they can actually mine throughout the remainder of 2022. Now next up is Digihost. So this one trades under the ticker symbol DGHI. This one is much smaller than Hut 8 or Bitfarms, and this is really an opportunity to get in at the ground level at a mining company that's just actually starting out. So this one, very similar to what we saw with Bitfarms, was down about 5% or 4.7% on Thursday's session. That equated to 23 cents Canadian to close out at $4.71. But that being said, you can see the market cap on Digihost, you guys, is a fraction of what we've seen with Bitfarms or Hut 8. It's about an eighth of those companies in terms of size, and the market cap is sitting just north of $115 million Canadian. Now, very similar story here. You can see at the start of November, this company was trading just under $10 a share. Share price has basically been cut in half over the last couple of months. And again, I think that presents a very attractive buying opportunity if you're bullish on crypto and Bitcoin in the long run here, which I personally am, and cannot believe we're getting the buying opportunity we are in today's current market. Now, for full disclosure, I currently do not hold any shares or options related to Digihost Technology, but this is one that's definitely on my radar here, and I really like it because, as mentioned, it's a growth company that's really looking to make an entrance into the mining space in a big way in 2022. And that's exactly what this article here talks about. Again, came out February 1st. Digihost reports an 86% increase in year-over-year Bitcoin production and provides update, operational, and production for the month of January. Now, if you start to scroll through the article and you look into the numbers, you can see Digihost mined just under 63 Bitcoin in the month of January. So again, compared to Bitfarms and Hut 8 in the neighborhood of about 300 Bitcoin, this company is mining about a fifth of their production. However, the market cap is about a tenth or an eighth, so you are getting a little bit of an imbalance there in terms of production rate to market cap, but keep in mind a big portion of that is due to the reserves held by Bitfarms and Hut 8 in terms of the actual Bitcoin in their possession. Now, based on that 63 Bitcoin production, again, that's up 86% from January of 2021. That equates to an approximate value of about $1.3 million. So if you actually factor in the price of Bitcoin last January to this January, you're up about 116% in terms of the actual value of mined activity. Now, continuing to scroll through the article, you can see their reserve currently sits at about 700 Bitcoin, which is worth about $27 million. Now, keep in mind, we just saw Bitfarms has a reserve of 4,600 Bitcoin. Hut 8 is well above 5,000. So again, in terms of their reserve or the amount of Bitcoin held, Digihost holds about 15% of those bigger companies. And in addition to the Bitcoin, they actually hold about 1,000 Ethereum, which is worth approximately $2.7 million based on Ethereum's current price of about $2,650 per coin. So on a grand total, you guys, they're sitting on a reserve about $30 million, again with a market cap just over $115 million. And the other point I wanted to call out is based on their hash rate. So currently the company is sitting at about 415 petahash, but they're expecting that to grow to 1.2 exahash by the end of Q1. So very similar story, but on a smaller scale to what we saw with Bitfarms. Aggressive growth in the first quarter of 2022 to really increase their overall mining capacity. Now, as of January 31st, Digihost has already received approximately 9,000 advanced mining units, and they expect additional units to come towards the end of February, again delayed due to Chinese New Year. And this is all really in a goal here, you guys, to get to this targeted 3.6 exahash by the end of 2022. So Digihost's end of year goal of 3.6 exahash is essentially where Bitfarms plans to be by the end of the first quarter of 2022. So with that being said, two different plays, both in the crypto or Bitcoin mining space. Both companies have pulled back dramatically over the last couple of months, and both of these companies, I think, present a great buying opportunity if you're looking for exposure into this space. Now, one thing I did notice, you guys, if you're looking to trade options, Digihost currently doesn't have or doesn't offer options on their stock, so you would have to go the Bitfarms or Hut 8 route, which is exactly why I chose those two companies over Digihost. Now, before I let you go, there was two other interesting articles that I picked up and I was actually reading over the last couple of weeks. So this one is from Investopedia, top crypto mining stocks for Q1 of 2022. You can see Hut 8 and Bitfarm are both mentioned in the intro here, you guys. They rate these different crypto miners based on three categories, so value, growth, and momentum. And if you scroll through this article, you can see they talk about some of the big players, so Riot, Hive, Marathon, which we've covered on the channel. So again, I would encourage you to go take a look at those companies. but if you start to scroll through, you can see best value crypto mining stock. They have Bitmining Ltd, Canaan Incorporated, and Bit Digital. So those are three companies that I'm going to work to review on the channel as well. If you scroll through and you start to look at the fastest growing, here's where you can actually see Hut 8 Mining Corporation, Canaan Inc, and Bitfarms. So two of the companies that I'm currently invested in being Hut 8 and Bitfarms Ltd. And the final metric here, you guys, is based on most momentum going into 2022. And you can see Bitfarms is actually #1 on the list, with Hut 8 Mining in second place and Marathon Digital in third. And that's exactly what I'm looking to capitalize on here moving into 2022. I think Bitcoin has pulled back unfairly in relation to the overall market. Bitcoin is supposed to be a hedge against inflation. And I honestly, in my personal opinion, this is not fact-based, you guys, but I have a feeling big institutional investors and whales in the crypto community are using the uncertainty in the market and the fear that a lot of investors have to artificially pull down the price of Bitcoin so they can actually load up and continue to increase their stake in this cryptocurrency. So I think Bitcoin is going to rally back in a major way in the back half of 2022. I think companies like Bitfarms and Hut 8 that are aggressively building out their computing power in the first half of this year are going to stand to benefit in a huge way. And that's why I'm taking aggressive call option positions in these two companies. And with that being said, this is the last article I wanted to bring your attention to. This is from Seeking Alpha. This actually came out in April of 2021, so it's an older article, but it talks about sizing up 12 of the most prominent Bitcoin mining stocks. A couple things I wanted to call your attention to in here. #1, they do a really good job of actually laying out the companies in relation to one another. So you can go through the article and you can actually see them stack ranked on a number of different metrics. So they talk about companies again like Marathon, Riot, Hive, Argo Blockchain, and some of the mid players like Hut 8 Mining, Bit Digital, Bitfarms, and Digihost Technology all make the list here, you guys. And they actually compare their performance over the year in terms of their share price appreciation. So again, the article's a little bit outdated, but this is definitely a good place to start if you're new to this investment sector or industry. You want to get a feel for the various different players and sizes of the companies. And it will also stack rank the companies based on value in Bitcoin miners and on the actual growth in Bitcoin mining units as well. And the final point I wanted to make here, you guys, just like any other investment, investing in these companies does have an element of risk. Obviously, the price of these stocks and their market cap is directly related to the price of Bitcoin. So if we do see Bitcoin remain low for an extended period of time, these companies may start to feel the pain and have some cash flow challenges. So again, invest with caution here, you guys. Do your own due diligence. Don't take my word for it, but I did want to share with you my trade strategy. And again, to be clear, I'm buying January 2024 call options on both Hut 8 Mining and Bitfarms pretty aggressively over the last couple of months. I think I'm sitting at about 15 to 18 contracts now, and I definitely think this is going to be a very promising investment over the next couple of years if we're able to see a big rally in the price of Bitcoin in the next couple of quarters. So with that being said, you guys, thanks so much for watching today. I really appreciate you taking the time. If you have any questions about the companies discussed here or any other crypto mining stocks, feel free to leave a comment in the section below. If you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And if you're still watching the video at this point in time, hopefully you found some value. Make sure you hit the like button, you guys. It helps get this content to other people like yourself who may find value. And with that being said, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.